don't be scared to go for your dreams. I think a lot of people get caught up on thinking about how things can go wrong, too much and to a point where it can actually freeze you up and stop you.
All right, listen, if you are a coach consultant, I know something about you. The average is you make less than $5,000 a month, okay? And you never, ever get to $20,000 a month. I think the exact number is $4,524 a month. That's your average. But most coaches, consultants never get to the $20,000. But the number one reason is because you're having a hard time attracting clients. You need client attraction. Well, the good news is my friend, my coach, my mentor helped me make $35,000 in less than a week. And it was all the information from his paid ad playbook, Mr. Marquell Russell. He has the receipts to vouch, including myself, okay? Listen, he helps you attract clients. You need the paid ad playbook. If you want to get 50 to 100 new leads every single day, you're going to need the paid ad playbook. To this date, his clients have generated over $500 million in sales. $500 million. And he's giving you this paid ad playbook for free. Absolutely free. 100% off just for our Social Proof listeners. Listen, so if you are a coach, a consultant, a service provider, a course creator, and you want to get people to pay you $3,000 to $10,000 for your product or service, for your expertise, you need to go to socialproofgift.com. It's a gift for you. Socialproofgift.com or text proof to 904-447-5274. All right, let's get to the episode. Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast, where we find dope people that did really, really dope stuff. Today is no different. Another full-time entrepreneur that's creating residual. It would be residual income in the vending machine business.
Yeah, most definitely.
You put it in there and it just makes money.
Exactly, yep.
I need to know how to do that because...
Not that simple, but yeah.
It's not?
No.
It seems like you stock the joint, chips, snacks, and all kind of goodies. You put whatever price you want because people are going to pay whatever they want to pay, and you just make money. It's like water, baby.
Yeah, you know what? Initially, when I started, before I even started teaching people, my wife used to tell me, because I used to have people ask me, how do you do that all the time? Because I was still working, I had the machine, so everybody I was working with knew I had the machines. So they was like, how do you get the machines? How? And I'm thinking in my head, like, just buy them, put products in them, and put them in a location. It was simple in my mind because I was at that point, even at that time, I was used to doing it. But after I had a friend come down to my city out from another city because I needed some help. It was growing. And I had to teach him how to do it. And then once I started hearing the questions and everything he was asking me, it was like, okay, maybe it's not that simple. Because, because some of the stuff I was just doing it naturally because I had progressively got into the business. And, I just picked stuff up as I was going along. But for somebody who come in and just really don't know anything about it, it's different. There's a lot to pick up, but I didn't see it that way. I more so seen it the way you saw it. It's just put the stuff in there, and people buy it.
For sure. It seems like it works that way. So how many vending machines? First off, introduce yourself because I'll get into the business and people won't even know your name. So go ahead.
Kashief Edwards from Philadelphia. And I've been in the business now around 6 years.
6 years. And how many vending machines you got?
Currently, we have around 20. Fluctuates between 20 and 30. I try to keep it manageable to where I could do it myself for the most part.
How many people on a regular basis you think shakes your machines?
Every day, maybe every day. People definitely shake machines. That's no question.
You live in Philly too? Are all of them in Philly?
Yeah, no, but right now, yeah. But I've had them in Philly, Jersey, and Delaware. Yeah. So at the biggest point, I had them going out to Delaware. So I had them going from Philly all the way out to Delaware. It's like an hour away. So.
The whole area of Philly, some machine shakers. I know, bro.
Yeah, especially in like the high schools and things like that. They'll shake them. So you got to have some sturdy machines. I actually ended up, in one of my accounts, I had to drill a machine to a wall because they were shaking it too much. And it was a small machine. With the bigger machines, they shake it, it's not going to hurt the machine. But the smaller ones, you shake it, you can mess it up. And so I had drilled it to the wall so they couldn't shake it anymore.
Dang. So 20 machines, right? And not to be on your personal business, but what is the goal? And I know some be more, some be less. But what is the goal of a machine? How much are you looking to make from each machine?
Well, I could say the machines really average probably around 500 per machine. One account would typically have 2 machines. They usually have your soda and your snack machine. But that number fluctuates greatly depending on your location. My personal goal, when I got into it, initially, I just was looking to save money to get into real estate. So I wanted to get into real estate, but I'm like, man, I ain't got enough money. I ain't got the credit right now. So I was like, well, if I work more, I could save up more money. It didn't work. I started working. I had like 3 jobs. I still wasn't making enough to save.
I've never, ever come across somebody where them getting a second job helps their situation at all.
Yeah, I tried.
I've never seen it. I don't know why. I've just never seen a second job solve anyone's problem.
Right. Because it's like, it's not even really, I'm not going to say it's not the jobs, but it's more so, I think it's more so about the information of how you manage the money. Like, so I know when I started the extra jobs and I still seen it wasn't working, I got into vending machines, but I didn't get straight into the machines. I actually started with gumball machines. So the little candy, the quarter, once you put the quarter in, turn the candy come out. I started with those. So I attempted to start with the actual vending machine, but the machine didn't fit in the location that I found for it. Well, somebody found for me, actually. They found the location for me. So one tip I give is don't get your machine before you have your location. And the only reason I say that is because it happened to me personally. It's happened probably 2 or 3 times. And at this point, I've seen it happen to a lot of people because, with the platform, I've helped a lot of people. So every space is individualized. It's going to have different sized doorways. Like where we're at now, we have big doorways. It's double doors. A machine can come in here easily. But not every space is like that. Some of them have smaller doorways, and all machines come in different sizes. So you can have a large machine, you can have a smaller machine, and not all machines can fit in every space, even as far as where the machine will go. So usually once you get an account, which is a location, you'll want to measure out the doorways and then measure where the machine will go. And that's going to help determine, along with foot traffic, what type of machine you should put in that spot.
Gotcha. So your machine was, I guess, too big for the location?
My machine was too big for the location. And because I hired somebody to find me a location, and they actually provided me with the machine. So when I told them, I'm like, hey, I'm over here at the spot, and it was a hotel. I mean, it wasn't even like a small spot. I'm like, hey, but they want the machine. I don't believe it's gonna fit. Like, it doesn't look like a vending machine could fit right here. And they's like, oh, we've been doing this for 20 something years. We're telling you it's gonna fit. And they drove from over an hour away. So they were in Maryland. They drove the machine all the way from Maryland. Got it there, didn't fit. They had to take it all the way back.
Did you give them the "I told you so" face?
Basically, yeah. Yeah, but then I was lucky. They gave me my money back, and that was that. And I ended up trying to get another account. Didn't go well. I searched again, didn't go well. So I was like, man, I got to do something because this money is dwindling away. It's burning a hole in my pocket. So I ended up getting gumball machines, and that's how I started with that. I started with 4 gumball machines and grew that same way, to around 20 something before I got back into the vending machine.
Yeah, 20 gumball machines. How much does a gumball machine make?
Well, with my route, I was probably making $1,000 a month with my gumball machines. So I had 20, 25 of them. So gumball machines probably average.
Altogether?
Altogether, yeah.
Bro, I was going to say, we get a gumball machine tomorrow.
Yeah, altogether. But it's real, the gumball machines are super passive. All you really do is throw the stuff in there, and you don't have to come back until a month later, and you just collect all the coins. That's the headache with that, is collecting the coins, because it's heavy. So it rips everything. But so I got the gumball machines, and then I got back into vending probably a year after that.
Gotcha. What is your highest yielding machine, and where's it at?
Now, right now, I could say we just got an account, probably a new account. I would say it's been about 3 months. This is going on the 3rd month. This will be, I feel like this will definitely be my highest yielding account. So right now it's placed in a pharmaceutical company, and the machines are set to free vent, right? So that means that the staff use the products in the machine for free.
What?
And I invoice the company at the end of the month. So that machine has been going, it's been going crazy. It's the best account I've had thus far.
So they can just go in, get whatever snack they want.
They just go in and hit the selection, stuff come out, and I do my inventory, send them the invoice, and they pay it.
Goodness gracious.
And how
long you been doing it?
But this is the 3rd month with this account. So I have 4 machines in there. And one is actually a cooler One is a cooler. The cooler isn't set to free vend, but it has fresh products in there. So it's like sandwiches and salads and that type of stuff. And that one does well too because it's a higher ticket.
lit.
It's higher ticket items versus the chips and things like that.
So it's just a cooler. You stock the stuff. People walk in, lift the cooler, get what they want, and
not with the cooler. So the cooler they have to pay. They pay their own money for the cooler. The company like, no, we ain't paying that much. But the cooler they have to swipe their card, and then you can open the door, and then they grab out whatever they want, and whatever items are taken out of the cooler are automatically charged once the door closes.
Oh, that's
so
crazy.
they take something out and put it back. It's not going to charge them. But if they take it and the door closes, then they charge for it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang. Like these machines get advanced.
I know, man. And
you just swipe your card, take whatever you want, and then it charges based on whatever you want.
Yeah. So, and that's something new that we're getting into is because before I always stayed away from the fresh food stuff because you really need like a good account for that. Like it has to be in somewhere with a lot of foot traffic and it has to make sense. And the reason it has to make so much sense is because your shelf life with those products are very short. You only have about a week to get that out there to the customer versus something like chips and sodas. That's good for a while. Like, so even if that sits there for some time, it can always sell later. With the other stuff, with the fresh stuff, you have to sell that right away.
Got it. Okay, so outside of that account, because it seems like you're going crazy with that account.
Uh-huh.
One machine, one location. What's your highest yielding one and why?
Okay. I'll say probably around 2,500, something like that, between the two machines. And then it's multiple factors why, and I like...
In one location, there's two machines in one location?
Yeah.
Oh, so the snacks and the...
Snack and the soda, yeah.
Bro, do you know I had a job that paid $2,500 a month? I'd actually go work there every day.
I had a job that paid $1,600 a month. That's why I got started with the vending machines. Yeah, it was $1,600, and I have a master's degree, and I still was out. That's all I was getting.
Dang.
So yeah, I know the feeling.
All right. So why is this? Tell me about this place that these machines are at.
So this is a school. So this is a school. It's in the teacher's lounge, and it pretty much it's different factors when you go into what makes a location good. And I could run down probably like 4. The actual location of the machines, so where they're placed at in the building. So ideally, you want them placed somewhere visible where people have access to them. Because sometimes people would try to put them in the basement somewhere, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. You want it right there in the lobby or right there somewhere where everybody can see it and use it. You also have to look at the hours of operation. How long is this place open? Like how many days a week are they open? What are their hours when they are open? Something like a motel, hotels, different things like that, they don't close. So that's why they typically better locations to have 24 hours.
Gotcha.
Also have to look at the foot traffic. How many people you have coming in and out of here on a daily basis? How many people are working here? And, and that's always going to fluctuate whether you want to look at the staff or whether you want to look at the people coming in and out.
Gotcha. Do any of your locations lose money? Meaning you have it there and maybe some of the products go bad. You got to, like you're taking a loss on any of them.
Not currently. I mean, I definitely have in the past.
Tell me that situation.
So, all right. So my first machine, right? And this is when I first got started. I had a hotel. This was a hotel too. It ended up being a really good account. But when I first loaded the machine, I was putting in there whatever I like, pretty much. So when I'm walking through Sam's Club, I'm like, okay, this is good. That's good. This is good. Oh, they gonna love this. Man, they ain't touch that stuff.
Really?
So, but when I went back, I'm putting stuff in there. They like, well, can you put this in there? Well, can you put that in there? Then I realized, it's not about me. Like, I can't go off of my taste, but I have to listen to them. And once I started doing that, that's when the sales started picking up. And that's what I realized, like, you really got to just listen to what they telling you they want. Because some people get hooked on whatever they think is good, and then they're just going to try to put that in there. It's not about what you like. It's about what they want.
That definitely sounds like something I would do. What's something that you put in there that you just knew people was going to eat and they just don't?
Man, I don't know. Probably, let me think. Like Doritos. I felt like Doritos was good.
Nobody eats Doritos?
In that particular account, no. They didn't want the Doritos.
What's wrong with them people? I'd take
they wanted chili Fritos and some other crazy stuff. They like they like different products in that particular account. But then again, it's always about the account or every account is not going to have the same products. You know, that's the tricky part to it.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yo, you know what would be cool, bro? When I get my machines, this is what I'm gonna do. I was gonna have like a little sign sheet or something or request sheet. And they can write what they want, and do you see it? And you're like, oh, well, I'll stock it with whatever. Yeah. Do you do that? Or I just came up with it?
No, I do that sometimes.
Okay.
So even
I thought I was putting you on.
It depends on the business. So if it's like an office building, I like to send out a memo. You know, if it's like something where it's like it's not like the set environment like that, we could do a suggestion box. You know, you could do the sign. I've never done the sign sheet. I've used the suggestion box.
I did put you on. I put you on.
I've seen people use the sign sheet with the piece of paper, like, and they put it on the side of the machine and different things like that. But that's a great idea. That's exactly what you want to do, because if you just trying to play the guessing game, you know, you're going to lose out. Because it usually take about a month, maybe 2 months to really adjust the products to where you can get it to where mostly everything is selling. You always going to have stuff that's going to sell more than others, but you want everything to move.
All right, so tell me how you got into this thing. What were you doing before the gumball machines and the vending machines and all that? What were you doing?
A lot, man. I told you I had 2 jobs at one time. I was doing a lot. So I mainly, the main thing I was doing, like to sum it up, was just working with kids. So I was working with kids in different settings. I was working in a school. I was working in a residential facility with kids with like autism and different things like that. And I had a job actually working in LA Fitness prior to that. And that's why I feel like I learned a lot of my business skills, because I was working like on the management side. And, you know, I picked up a lot of stuff from doing that.
So you're working with kids. What else?
And then LA Fitness prior to that.
As a trainer?
I wasn't a trainer, but I was on a management. I managed the training staff and some of the other staff.
So you wasn't the one that was wiping the machines down and all that?
Oh, no, I wasn't wiping the machines.
But so you worked there at the same time, LA Fitness and working with the kids?
No, I was at LA Fitness first, and then after that, I went to working with the kids and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I pretty much worked with the kids up until the point where I stopped working.
And where did you have this idea of, I'm going vending machine with it?
So back when I used to play ball, which we just was talking about a little bit before the show started, you know, we had practice every Sunday. You know, it was more than every Sunday, but with this particular team, we had practice every Sunday, and in the recreation center. Recreation center had a Gatorade machine in it. So it was a lady who would come service the machine every Sunday. So every week I would be sitting there when she came and service the machine this time, and I definitely wasn't waiting for her or anything like that. I just would happen to be there every time. She'll come in, and then she'll take the money out and then, you know, put new Gatorades in there. And I would always see her like take the money out. I'm like, man, that's a nice little wad of money. Like, so in the back of my mind, I would think, it's probably like 16, 17. I was like, man, I want to get me a machine. But then, you know, I never really did anything with it, and it didn't really come back up until I got older. And now I'm seeing, man, working ain't really getting me to where I need to be.
Sure.
And I'm trying to, you know, invest my way out of that situation. And I don't have the means to do the real estate thing, but I do have the means to do the machine thing. So.
Gotcha. So so your ultimate goal was like, let me get into real estate. Are you in real estate now?
I'm in real estate now, yeah.
Gotcha. So your ultimate goal is like, let me save some money for real estate. I just got this idea. I remember the lady had the Gatorade joint. She had a couple dollars. So I'm down.
Right. And I kind of spoke it into existence, man, because I was telling everybody, I'm about to get some machines. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And, you know, and it just happened over time. It didn't happen as fast as I wanted it to happen, but it definitely happened over time.
They have routes that you can buy, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can just, like, they're already existing machines, and you just buy the route from somebody.
Right.
Did you ever consider that?
I brought out 2 or 3 routes at this point.
Oh, so you actually bought a couple routes?
Yeah, even with the candy machines. I brought that's how I grew that fast. So I mean, I've done that with the candy machines 2 or 3 times too. So I started off with 4 of those, and then I brought out a route, and then I got a couple of my own, and then I brought out another route.
How many was in the first route that you bought?
Probably like 7.
So somebody has 7 machines, and they was like, yo, I'm gonna sell you all of them. What are the questions that you need to ask before you buy a route. I know what you're thinking. How the heck do you make money from a podcast? Is David just doing this podcast because he likes it, or there's a heavily monetized strategy attached to it? Well, it's both. I really love talking and interviewing people and getting free game from really successful people. But also, this is a 7-figure podcast. I'm telling you right now, there's so much money in podcasting, and we're early in the space. I really feel like it's 2009, and I'm telling you to buy Bitcoin. I'm right now telling you to start podcasting because in 5-10 years, it's skyrocketing. Those are the names that are going to be the ones who have the voices in our world, the ones that start a podcast right now, okay? So I put together everything I know about podcasting in an easily digestible program, okay? So go to podcastersblueprint.com, and you know I got to give y'all some love, okay? Enter code SOCIALPROOF. I'm taking 20% off so you can get your voice heard, all right? So this podcast that you're loving and enjoying, there's other people that's going to love and enjoy yours too, okay? Podcastersblueprint.com. Let's get back to the episode.
For me personally, I go off a few different things. So I'm gonna test them to see how I believe, like if I believe if they're business savvy or not. If they don't have like a P&L, they don't have like a profit and loss statement, any of that, then I'm like, I don't know if I can really believe like, what you're telling me. So what I have to do is at that point, I have to look at the machines themselves. I have to look at the locations themselves. And I'm basing my offer, like, 'cause you could put it for sale for whatever you want to put it for. I'm basing my offer off of the value of the machines and what I believe the locations would do in terms of sales. But the bottom line, like, is the value of the machines, because I know if it doesn't go well, that's going to be my exit strategy. I can move the machine or I can sell the machine.
I see. Okay, so the actual machines itself have a particular value. So it's like real estate. Like, it's not about the neighborhood. If the machine is worth enough, you can just take the machine and take it to another neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So what are you looking for in a machine?
I mean, it just really depends on the value of that particular machine. So it's not necessarily I'm looking for anything particular. If I'm looking at purchasing a machine, only time I'm looking for something particular when I'm purchasing a machine is when I'm basing it off of what a location needs. So let's say I find that account or whatever, and it's a good account, and it's a modern account. You want to have a machine that fits that environment. You want to have a card reader on there. You want it to be nice and clean. Like, you want it to look right in that environment. So that's the only time I'm really more so analyzing what the machine has in terms of features and how it looks and that type of thing. But if I'm buying a route out, I'm more so going to look and say, okay, this machine is worth $1,000. So and this one is worth $2,000. This one is worth $500 or something like that. And then I'm gonna make them that offer based off of what I think the machines are worth.
Gotcha. So I do ask a lot of personal questions.
That's fine.
Okay, so the first route, how much did you buy it for? And what was just tell me about the whole deal. The first one.
So the first route I brought out, it was I had a few mentors coming into the vending.
I'm about to do some calculations.
Go ahead.
Because I'm interested. I'm really am interested in. It just seems like automated money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got to be the right account though. It got to be the right account. So every location ain't a good location.
Yeah, I got you.
But the first route I brought out, so I had 3 mentors going into it. So I was lucky enough to find 3 people that was really like pretty much telling me, yo, do this, do that, do the third.
Gotcha.
2 of them were older. Like really, like one guy was like really old. His father actually started the business. And I never met his dad. His dad like retired and moved to Florida. He was still running the business, but he was like, he had to be up in his 60s maybe, close to 70, I would say. But he was about to retire. So he's like, well, I'm about to go retire with my dad and move to Florida too. Like, so after I would say about a year of him, me meeting, and getting to know him, he was getting in that phase where he was like, okay, well, I'm about to, fall back. I'm selling the business. So at that point, he let me buy a piece of his route. So basically a piece of his company that he already had established. I think he sold the whole thing for like, I don't know, it was like over $1 million or something. But he let me buy a small piece. So I brought 7 accounts from him. And that's the first time I got in a university, because he had Penn, which was one of our universities in Philly. So that's my first time getting into school, like in an actual big school.
Dawn. How many vending machines he had?
Can't tell you, man, a couple hundred. My other mentor probably has a few hundred too. He did, I think last year the year before last, before COVID, he did like just over 2 million.
Over 2 million on vending machines.
Yeah, but they have like hundreds of machines. Like it's crazy.
Okay, so I want to know how to manage it. I got more questions.
Mm-hmm.
So why did he section off these 7 and sell you the 7? And how much did you buy them for?
I asked him. So
let me just get a couple of them.
Yeah, like if you retiring, let me buy some of that. But I think he sold them. So he didn't sell them to me for a lot. It was actually only around like maybe I think it was like 8,000 or 9,000, something like that. But the value of it was way higher. Like,
so he must have been just looking out for you then.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what it was.
Because he's selling them to you for almost a little over 1,000 a machine,
right?
Not even considering,
not even counting with the actual. Because usually people will calculate the profits or how much the machine's making into it and different things like that. He didn't really do none of that. He just said, "Just give me this, and you could take that."
Dang.
So that's how I came up a little bit off of that. Because before that, I probably had that pushed me over the point to where I had like around like 15 or something like that. So I felt comfortable falling back away from like working and things like that.
Give me a route give me like a more normal situation. Because right now it just seems like old buddy just had bread and was like, here, young black kid, you want to, let me give you a start or whatever, right? But give me a deal where it was like a deal. Like, I mean, not a deal, but like you had to negotiate the price of the machine plus the value. So
the most recent one, it was a lady, I found her on Craigslist. So I went to Craigslist. So and I do this like every once so often. I just go in there and search vending machines, because sometimes people be selling, they'll sell routes on there, they'll sell locations or something.
On what, on Craigslist?
Mm-hmm. So I found a lady selling a route. She was selling it for 20-something thousand. I think
she's selling the route for Craigslist. She on Craigslist, selling the route for 20,000.
It was 20-something. It was like just over 20,000.
I'm actually going to Craigslist.
And then she had, I want to say it was,
Vending.
It might have been 5 or 6. I don't really remember the total number. But I know I ended up paying 15,000 for it. And the way I did it was, I did the same thing. I went negotiate, but she actually had a profit and loss statement. So she had software on all the machines, and that lets you see like what the sales were and everything. So I could tell exactly how much the route was making. Her route was making 30,000 a year.
And how many machines?
So I know her price was really like kind of justified.
How many machines?
I want to say she had around 6, something like that. It was around 6 machines.
6 machines. That was making $30,000 a year, which is $5,000 a year or $400-something a month. Yeah, $5,000 a month. No. If they're making $30,000 a year, 6 machines only yields $5,000 for the whole year. Because you have how many machines? 6 machines. And they all do $5,000 a year. That's $30,000 a year.
Say that again?
$30,000 a year. Each machine did $30,000. You're saying each machine did $30,000?
No, not each machine, altogether.
Right.
The route did $30,000.
Right. So if we got 6 machines, and these 6 machines are doing $30,000 a year, that means each machine is averaging $5,000 a year.
Oh, a year? Okay, yeah. I thought you were saying a month. That kind of threw me off.
Oh, yeah. So they all do about $400 a month.
Something like that.
Is that profit?
No, that's not profit. That was gross. That was gross. But one thing I like, when people are selling routes, is I've always find room for improvement. So even sometimes, so I almost brought a route out again, like after that. Well, I'll get back to that story in a second. But, sometimes like what I learned when I was doing the candy machines is how to find some of these people who will be willing to sell the routes, even without going online. If I go up to a candy machine or I go up to a vending machine and it looks like it's distressed, which means it looks dirty, like it doesn't look like it's being maintained well, but it's in a good location, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call this person and see if they want to sell this because it looks like they're not keeping up with it or they don't want to keep up with it. Maybe something is going on the back end, they can't manage it anymore, especially if it's in a good location. So with her situation, I felt like her machines were doing good numbers. It was doing solid because I like it for it to be right there at that 500 mark, which most of her machines were doing 500 or more. But some of her products, I felt like if I tweaked them, I can increase those sales.
So she didn't know what she was doing.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't hard. Her stuff was definitely clean, but I just felt like she wasn't tapping into each demographic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she more so just had it one sheet of products and then just put that everywhere. Whereas though I tweak mine depending on what type of environment that is.
Gotcha. So it seems like a good purchase price for a route is based on a year's worth of sales, maybe?
You want to look at the year's worth of sales and then look at the value of the machines.
Right. So I'm saying, like, if a route is doing 30,000, paying 25, 30,000 for the route is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not bad. Definitely, yeah. So 25 wasn't bad, but you know,
which means my man sold his joint for $1 million. His route was probably doing $1 million.
Oh yeah. It was. I know he did less than the other guy, which I said did the two. His company was smaller than his, but I know it wasn't like that far off. He was definitely over $1 million. Yeah, he's definitely doing over $1 million.
Okay, but, yeah, there's nothing on Craigslist.
Where you search? You search Georgia or something?
Yeah, I searched Atlanta.
Okay. I'm surprised. Atlanta, y'all be hot over here with the vending machines. Yeah.
Maybe that's why ain't nobody selling any routes.
Maybe.
Where else can I go to see some routes? Because I want to see some prices of routes.
Yeah, Facebook Market. So it's a few different places. We have an app now too. We put things on our app.
You have an app?
Yeah. Yep.
What? What's the name of that?
Vending Biz. Vending Biz app. We had it for a couple months now.
So tell me about the Vending Biz app.
So I basically came up with that because when I first started.
Oh, that's your joint right there.
Mm-hmm. When I first started, I was going like hours away to get my machines and things like that. Like, so the first machine that came, it came from Maryland, which is like an hour and some change away from me. Right. So I created the app because I think a lot of people get started in the business, right? They kind of just jump in and don't really understand
Is this app free?
No, it's not free.
So you have to pay. What are you paying for?
So you're paying for resources and opportunities.
Resources and opportunities.
So when I started, I struggled with finding those resources. Like, so when you're just getting started, people just jump in, but they don't really understand where their resources are. Like, so if a machine goes down or if they need this type of product or if they need to just find a machine to buy in general, a lot of times there's resources around you that you don't know are there.
Gotcha. I'm about to do it anyway. I mean, I'm about to, it's free to set up an account. Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely stuff in Atlanta, man. We get this stuff through all the time. I don't know what y'all got going on over here, but it be popping. At least on my platform, it's always stuff in Atlanta.
How much is the app once I enroll?
It's $4 a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you do so the resources are there's basically places to buy machines, places to buy products, repair technicians. So you can see whenever you need one of these, resources, you could just search on the app and it's gonna come up. The opportunities are routes for sale, locations, and different things like that. So whenever somebody sends us a route or sends us a location, which I have like 4 locators that work on that, we just go ahead and throw it on the app, and then whoever, contacts them first and purchases it, gets it.
All right, so I'm verifying my email on you got another download. You know what I mean? This is dope. But you have a course as well, yes?
Yeah, we have a course. We have an ebook. We have a few different resources.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm waiting for the email email comes because I want to check out the app, and hopefully people at home they're actually doing it as well. You know what I mean? Download the app. So how is the journey of like kind of going from just vending to kind of being the. Because they say in war, there are people that fight the war, but then there are people that sell the bullets to the people who need the bullets to actually fight the war.
Right.
But you're actually still in the vending business, but how's been the transition from you doing it yourself to having an app for resources and teaching other people?
It's different, man. It's different because honestly, when I first started my platform with the Vending Biz, I was more so just putting information out there. Like I didn't have a book. I didn't have a course. I didn't have any of that stuff. I was just like, people keep asking me, so I'm going to just throw it out there. But then, it's like, well, do you have You have a book, you got an ebook. I'm like, it's like the 20th person to ask me for it. Let me see what I got. And at that time, it's crazy because I would write, not really a journal, but I guess you would call it like, this notes of like I felt like was my life journey. Like, so the vending was part of it. So I already had something written up, like in terms of how I got started and how I was going and all that type of stuff. So I pulled from that and then created the ebook. I just put it together whereas though people could use it to start their own thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you can get all that in that?
No, that all that stuff is like separate.
It's separate. Gotcha. I want to get, I think, I don't know if I put the wrong email address in, and I do that all the time because I'm waiting for the confirmation email. Let me check my joint because I want to like have an experience with this joint very quick. Would you recommend getting into business?
Yeah, most
definitely. I know
definitely.
it's a weird question to ask you, but
yeah, most definitely. But you just want to make sure. I wouldn't recommend jumping into it without understanding what's going on. Because I feel like too many people do that. So I would recommend getting, educating yourself first, whether you're doing that through a mentor, you're doing that through just doing research online, however you want to do it, definitely educate yourself first and then go ahead and take it slow and get into it. But don't just get anything because it's there. Like you might see a location for sale or opportunity over here, opportunity over there. Don't just do it because it's there and you just want to get a vending machine. Make sure it makes sense. Because like I said, not every location is a good location. Gotcha. It's better to have, and this is one reason I don't go for a whole bunch of locations. I'll go for the quality. So I'd rather just have a few quality locations over 100 locations that's only going to make me with the quality locations is going to make me, if you understand what I'm saying.
No, yeah, I get it. Let me ask you this question. Let's say, for instance, you were just hypothetically, you were coming to Atlanta and you were going to get your first machine or machines. What would you do? What are you looking for specifically?
First thing I'm looking for is where do I get the machines from? I got to find that out. Next thing I'm looking for is, trying to get
But you said find a location first. Oh, no, just find out where you're going to get it from first. Right. Don't get it yet.
Right. So that's the tricky part too, because you want to wait to get the machine, right? But you want to have that resource ready because you don't want to keep that location waiting because they might find somebody else. They might change their mind. But you want to have that machine like on standby. Like, so you let the distributor, which is the machines come from distributors, the refurbished machines. There's different types of machines, but I recommend the refurbished ones. So you want to have the distributor on go. You let them know, hey, I'm looking for a location. You ask them what type of machines do they have. They're going to show you or tell you different selections that they have. You take note of that. And now when you're looking for your location and they're asking you what type of machines do you have, even though you don't have a machine, you could say, well, I have this, that, and that, because that's what you have access to through your distributor.
Gotcha. How long does it take typically to get a machine?
Like from distributors? Yeah. I would say give yourself at least like 2-3 weeks. Because you wanna have some grace period in there. They're going to want to test the machine. They're going to want to, make sure it's working right and that type of thing. And you have to make space for delivery. So it's usually a scheduled delivery. They usually do them on a same day. So it won't just be like your machine getting delivered. They'll try to do multiple deliveries in one day.
I see. Okay. And I know it's probably in some of your resources, but what's the best machine?
The best?
What's the best? Like, what's the dopest machine, brand, style?
I mean, so...
Or let me ask you this question. What's like I don't want to say Cadillac. What's like the Bentley or the Bugatti of machines?
That's a tough question. I would say what's hot right now. I can say what's hot right now is the combo machines. Everybody loves these combo machines, man, and I don't like them.
Is there a brand name?
The name of the machines is Naturals to Go and Healthy for You. Those are the main two people.
Hold on. Are any of these? Hold on. That's not a combo machine, right? On Craigslist.
That's a cooler. No.
That's a cooler. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Okay. All right. So what's it called? Say it again.
One is Naturals to Go.
Naturals
to Go with an actual 2.
Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the what? Oh, Naturals to Go. Okay. Healthy vending machines.
Yeah, that's a combo machine, and it's another combo machine that's Healthy for You.
How much is this one?
Combos cost around like $2,500, $3,500, depending on.
So the most expensive machine you can get is like $25. Oh, I see it. I see the little combo.
Most expensive machines you get probably upwards to like $10,000. So you get something as cheap
So
as
what?
$500, then they go all the way up to like $10,000.
Naturals to Go is the largest healthy vending machine. Why is it healthy? They only put healthy snacks in there or something?
It has a healthy wrap on it. Like, so if you look on the outside, I can't see what you're looking at, but it should have like fruit and stuff on it. Yeah. So you see it have the plants on it and different things like that.
You can take that off though, right?
You don't have to take it off, but people most of the time, you just gonna put what you want in the machine. But it's like the idea behind it is those are supposed to go in gyms and different, types of locations like that.
Yo, you got a natural machine and you got like honey buns and all kind of weird stuff.
Right.
That's funny.
So, I mean,
but it's a marketing play. Yeah. In your mind, you're thinking, oh, this must be a healthy honey bun.
Right. Yeah. It's just part of the marketing scheme with that thing. But
all right, look, I know you're enjoying the episode, but I got to tell you, finally, you asked for it and we created a Patreon, okay? We created an inner circle. We have amazing stories, amazing information, how-tos from the episodes. The only thing we're missing is a community. So it's about that time. We put together a Patreon, we put together a community because we have to have conversation around the information. So even this podcast we're listening to right now, there needs to be conversation. I want to hear what you got. Like, let's throw some stuff back and forth. And because we're like-minded, we're all going in the same direction. When we connect in a community, we can connect on other stuff outside the community because we're building real relationships. Okay, so check out the Patreon. We got 3 tiers. I don't care what tier you join. The support is appreciated. Okay, thank you so much. Now back to the episode.
Yeah. So I mean, but and
they take credit cards and stuff.
They take debit cards. I think most machines nowadays take credit.
You don't recommend cash, right?
You can use your watch. I've seen, and it's crazy, man. The first time I found out, my machine even took, Apple Pay and all that type of stuff. I was servicing one of them. I'm walking up to the machine. The guy's using it, so I'm waiting for him to purchase his product, and he swipes his watch and purchases 2 sodas. I'm like, damn. I didn't know you could do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I never messed with the features, and I was upgrading the machines and putting card readers on them. So I had just put a card reader on that machine, but I didn't know the card reader also accepted like Apple Pay and other forms of payment. So it's like, oh man, I gotta research this a little more and see what the hell I got going on with these machines. Right, but now I have that on every machine.
Where's the $10,000 joint? Where's like the most expensive?
So when you get up to so you got used machines. I call them basically used. Refurbished are used too, but used machines, if you're buying it off like Craigslist, OfferUp, that type of thing, and it's a individual who's selling it to you, like not an actual company. Let's say you own a machine and you didn't do anything with it, you just want to sell it. Those typically go for around $1,000. It's going to be $1,000 or less.
Gotcha.
If you're getting it refurbished, which means it's still used, but now it's painted, it has all of the updated features like the card reader and all that type of stuff integrated into the machine, that's around your $1,500 mark. That's where I suggest most people go because you get a warranty with those machines. You get some technical support. They're going to show you how to operate, so on and so forth. Then your new machines start off at around $4,000 or $5,000, and they're going to go upwards to $10,000. And 10 is like a brand new machine, and that's usually like, and it can also be like custom machines and things like that.
Right. So this Naturals to Go joint, brand new is probably $4,000 or $5,000.
Brand new, probably like around like 5,000.
Let me see.
Brand
new
machine.
They don't even. It's not a website where you just buy stuff. It's like they take a.
Nah. So Naturals, those companies are actually franchises, but you don't need to be part of the franchise to buy those machines.
What do you mean they're franchises?
So they're vending franchises. They franchise those machines.
Oh, they're changing it. I see now, because I now see the products. It's supposed to be for their products. Yes?
You said it's supposed to be for their products?
Because they got their own like products, surf sweets and cereals and granolas. Oh, no, that's Kind Bars.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. Yeah, that's just regular products.
Yeah, that ain't them. Oh, no, that ain't them.
Yeah, okay. So... But they market it as you putting healthy things in there. So you get in the door.
That's dope though, because they're selling the machine and selling you the food.
I don't believe they sell you the food. Now I haven't been a part of their program, so
what are they doing?
Know. But I know it's very expensive to get started with the with their with their whole plan, because they make you pay for all types of different licensing and fees and different things like that.
Oh, I see what they're doing. They're just giving you examples of healthy stuff to put in your machine just in case you want to be Unless you want to go like on a natural, healthy side.
Yeah, but I think when you're actually in their program, they give you like a product list and different things like that.
Oh,
So,
I see.
yeah.
I see. But they're not selling the food. Okay, gotcha. So take me to the $10,000 joint, bro.
10,000, man.
Like, like, what are they selling? Like wigs and you know what I mean? Like, I want to know. I want to go to the high end.
The high end, man. It really just depends. I couldn't tell you too many because I don't buy those, man. I use the $1,500 machines, and I even the guys I told you who do the millions, they don't use the new machines. Like the one of them has like a few of them, but he doesn't really like them like that because I can tell you one that's a little more expensive, but he doesn't really like them like that because let's say you have an issue. Let's relate it to cars. If you have a newer car, right, and the headlight goes out, right? One car I had, the headlight went out. I'm used to old cars. Like, so I go and change the change the light, you know. And he's like, no, you can't do that. You have to take the whole front of the car off to do this, to do that, and like to change the light. So I'm like, damn.
And then the pieces are expensive.
Right. So same thing with the vending, with the newer machines, you can't just swap out stuff like you can with the older machines. Like, so a lot of people don't like using them because when they go down and something is an issue, it's very expensive and it's hard to fix them versus the older ones. You can make them look new and it's still easy to fix. Like, you know, you don't have to go through all the extra steps to fix it.
Got it. Bro, I'm glad we talking about this because I would have just got a machine. Like, I just want to get the best machine. But yo, let me ask you, do they have it set up to where machines can take like PayPal and Cash App and Zelle and stuff yet?
Not yet, man. You know what I was trying to figure out how to make it take EBT. If I could have figured that out back in the day, man, EBT, you would have.
Can they take it now?
No.
No?
Not that I know of. I know it should, but they definitely don't. Not yet anyway. But you know, that's what I was trying to figure out. Man, how can I make this thing take food stamps for people? This would be this is sell out every day. Like, you know, but it doesn't accept that yet. But I'm sure like the cash apps and all that type of stuff, I'm sure that's coming. Because even with the Apple Pay and all that stuff is like really new.
Yeah, it's digital.
Yeah, like all the card readers, like they're on every machine now. And I would say initially, you know, when I started, it wasn't any card readers. And then when they came out, you might have got like 10% of your sales from the card readers. Now it's like 50-60% of your sales are coming from the cards. So it's
I actually think it'd be more, man. Like, who has cash?
Yeah, so it's going to keep trending in that direction as I feel like because we're using cash less and less and less. So it's going to be more and more digital payments, you know, coming out.
Got you. So do you actually restock your machines yourself?
Most of them, yeah. So I have help with some of them. I don't do like everything, especially with others since I got my hands on multiple things now. So, you know, I pretty much get it to where I want it to be. Then I fall back and then I get back on it and then, you know, maneuver a little bit and I fall back and focus on this. You know, so I make sure what I have going on is where I want it. And then I kind of let it do what it do. And then I'm going to pick it back up.
Out of all of the things you do, what's the easiest way to make money? What's the easiest money maker that you?
Man. I want to say real estate because I mean that's literally this, especially when it's good. Like if you ain't got no tenants calling you and that type of thing, like it's really just you forget it's there. Like
so it actually worked out the way you planned it initially. Like yo, I wanted to get a vending machine, make some money, put it in real estate.
But in my mind, it was going to happen that way in about a year. It just took 5 years, 5 years for it to go that way. You know, it just didn't happen the way I thought it would happen, but you know, it definitely did, man.
What's the biggest headache with vending machines?
Moving them. Like, so initially when I first started the business, we were picking the machines up, physically picking them up and moving them around. Like now we have tools and different things. You don't have to hurt your back.
Yeah.
All that type of stuff. But moving them it can be tricky. Sometimes you'll have to take it apart. I had to take it like 2 or 3 machines apart to get it in the door before. It's same thing, measurement issue. So I asked my guy. I was helping my guy. He got a location out wherever he's from, Niagara Falls, New York. So I'm like, did you measure the doorway? He said, yeah, it's so-and-so. I'm like, all right, cool. We should be good. This machine is only it was 34 inches wide or something. I'm like, all right. We get it there. He ain't measure that right. I'm like, oh man, it's not going to fit. You know, so I'm like, all right, so what I'm going to do? We try to open the door, swing it in, but when I say swing it in, like usually if you open the door up, now you got them things sideways and you can kind of maneuver it like this. But it was 2 walls right here, so I couldn't even swing it. So I'm like, man, this ain't. You might not be able to get this. But long story short, I just ended up taking the door off. When I took the door off, we just got it right in there.
Dang. So, you think it's like too saturated in Atlanta though?
I don't know, man. I couldn't say because I'm not here. But I do see a lot of people, doing things here, and not even just with vending. This in general, y'all do a lot over here.
Yeah,
man.
there's a lot happening out here.
Y'all be getting to it. So I feel as though it's definitely a lot of people over here doing it, but I wouldn't say it's saturated. I don't believe it's saturated. Even when people say that about other areas, like I have people out in New York, like, oh man, it's too many people, or it's, it's everybody already has one. It's always an opportunity somewhere. You really just need, like I said, you just need that 1 or 2 good accounts, and it can carry you.
So what is your approach? What's your sales pitch when you I'm gonna go into I don't know, I'll go into Ephraim's business, right? He has an office, and I say what?
Okay, so your focus needs to be, how can you make that establishment better? Right? So a lot of people get into this, even when they contact me and asking me questions, it's like, well, don't you have to pay for the electricity? Don't you have to pay for this? Or why would they just let you put the machine in there for nothing? It's not about that. Like, it's about you're providing a service to them. Even with the machines I have set on free rent, they don't have it set to free rent to please me. They have it set to free rent because that benefits their situation.
Got it.
So when you going into it, you have to look at the ways that it would benefit them. Like, for example, if I'm going into an apartment complex, right? Now, me adding that machine in there is now adding an amenity. It's adding, and by adding that amenity, that's adding more value to their establishment. And then their tenants will now be happy because they'll be able to get products and things, So if they're happier, they might stay longer. You have less turnover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at more so the bigger picture.
Selling it.
Even with the hotel that we got, that the machine didn't fit, the reason they wanted the vending machine in there is because they didn't have one, and they were getting bad reviews for not having any snacks or drinks in the hotel. So the people had to walk down the street. We have like something called a Wawa, which is like I don't know if you have Wawas out here.
Not out here, no.
Yeah, but
I'm from Willenboro, so I grew up on Wawa.
All right, yeah. So they would have to walk like a couple blocks down to Wawa to get snacks and drinks and stuff, and people would always leave them bad reviews. So that's why they really wanted a machine.
So you're solving a problem.
That's exactly solving a problem.
The organization wouldn't be charging you.
It depends on the situation. They can. So the average commission paid for the vending business is 10%. So usually when you pay a commission, it's either 10% of gross or 10% of profits. Now, it depends how you pitching this. Now, sometimes, most of the time, like they'll contact you and say, hey, we want vending service, which is, in that situation, you're 9 times out of 10, you're not going to pay a commission. But if it's a situation to where you're more so pursuing them and they don't really want it like that, it's like, well, what else can I say to get them to want to put the machine in here? That's when you get into the commission thing. But I never bring it up. I always lead on how the machine can benefit their business, benefit their establishment, their staff, their whatever. And then if that's still not enough and I really want that account, then I'm going to go ahead and talk commission. So bigger accounts like hotels, airports, hospitals, you're paying a commission. Because they used to the business. They know what they supposed to get. They know ins and outs. So with those type of accounts, you're paying a commission. But if you get like office buildings and things like that, you don't have to pay commission most of the time.
What about event spaces?
Those might be cool. Those are newer. Newer too. So I don't know. It depends on the traffic. How popping is that event space?
I think I'm gonna put one in here. Do I have to pay commission, Joe? If I buy, because I have a partnership with this space. It's technically my own business.
It is your own business. Just pay a
little commission.
We'll work something out.
Work something out. Do you ever pay somebody just monthly? Like, yo, let me rent this space from you.
Like a flat
$200, yeah.
I don't, but that is something that, people do. I don't. I like it off a commission because I feel like they'll take better care of my machine and they'll lead people to the machine. But if they know they're going to get a piece of it versus if they're going to get whatever every month anyway, they ain't really going to care.
That's smart. Yeah, that's smart. I think I'm gonna do that joint. What, do you have any like food that goes bad? I got some stuff, and I've had a couple bad experiences where, and it was actually at my boy, he had an event space, and I bought something and it was stale. I'm like, bro, what's this? He didn't give my money back. That was crazy. But like, are there certain foods that you try to stay away from?
Yeah, it's certain stuff. But whenever I buy something, I look at the expiration date to make sure I got some good time on it before I really just start putting it out there. But certain foods have a real long shelf life, like crackers, Lance crackers, high profit margin, super high profit margin, super long shelf life. Other things have a shorter shelf life, like if you get like a tasty cake, so it's Philly stuff in there.
Honey bun.
Honey buns and different things like that. You'll have a shorter shelf life with that, with like pastries. I'll say pastries.
But you need the pastries.
But you need them because they're going to sell, But when they don't sell fast enough, then they can go bad.
I'm about to put one
versus like chips and things. They'll last longer.
I think I'm about to put one in my house, yo.
I've seen that done one time.
Say it again? Oh yeah, that's 100%. That's a given. But you seen people put it?
I only seen it one time, and it was on social media. I seen somebody put it in I guess they had like a man cave or something. They put it in a man cave. So they was making their friends pay for all these.
I'm talking about my family. Yeah, my daughter, she a snack queen. And she just expects for us to buy snacks and cookies and just have them in the pantry. We about to cut all that out, little girl. If you want some snacks, they'll come off that 50 cents.
Man, listen, my daughter used to run. When I first started, I had all my stuff in the pantry. I had to get rid of that because I come back, I see rappers everywhere. I'm like, yo, I know y'all ain't take my stuff. And they be going through it. And then I'll bring her with me now. She's older. I'll bring her with me, my son with me sometimes to service the machine. And I'll pay her with the snacks.
Gotcha.
So I get some.
You pay her with snacks?
I get some.
You're a savage, bro.
That's what she wanted. I asked her what she wanted. He said,
that's like slavery, bro. I
want some Reese cups. I'm like, oh, cool. Then go and fill up that machine. I can use some Reese cups.
That's funny. Dife is gonna come get you. What's the child protective services? Yo, no, but I'm about to put that joint in the crib, bro. Teach my daughter and my wife, teach them financial responsibility. You know what I mean? Everything has a cost associated to it.
Right.
Yo, so last thing. Tell me about margins. Like, how much do you get some chips for? How much do you sell them? Or cookies? Or what's something high margin? Give me an example. And then low, but you still have to have it.
Okay, low margin that you need, candy. Candy has probably lowest margin out of most of the products in the machines.
Reese cups?
Reese cups. All of those products cost like 60 cents. I sell them for $1.25. So you still doubling, but it's like something like a Lance cracker that's I just talked about. That might cost 13 cents. I sell that for $1.25. Bottles of water, couple cents. Sell these for $1.25. So most of your profit margin should be around somewhere between 55-60%.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? But you kind of have to pay attention to that, because people just be throwing anything in there and then not changing the prices or not paying attention to their actual profit margins and bottom lines and be losing out on money they could be getting.
What's something that's in your machines that's like super high? I'll be seeing like certain, like whether it's like energy drinks, it's $2.50, stuff like that. It's a lot.
Yeah. Monsters cost about like $2.75, that type of thing.
How much they cost you?
Probably I don't.
You don't do them like that?
Not too much. It's like $1 something. Most drinks cost around 25-30 cents. I use more so the bottled soda, which the bottled sodas, I don't like using those too much. But when the location requests them, you got to give them.
Why don't you like using them?
Lower profit margins. The cans have higher profit margins. So I like using the cans over the bottles. But, something to keep in mind too, when you're getting your products, one thing you want to, if you're looking at where you're getting the products from, you'll get rebates. You know what I'm saying? For purchasing these products. Like, so when you purchase more than 4 boxes of honey buns and Sam's Club, for example, they'll give you X amount back. And at the end of the year, you get to use that credit. Like, so by the time I get to the end of my year, I be getting stuff. I spend a whole week getting stuff for free,
gotcha.
from Sam's Club. And so you pay attention to that stuff. And then also your market will determine the value of your products and your machines. So you could have, for example, say you got a machine with X products in it. Had that in the barbershop, right? Take that same machine, put it in the hotel. The value of those products are automatically going to go up.
Right.
And you take that machine out that hotel, put it in the airport, it's going to go up again. Depending on where it's at, that's going to help. That's also going to determine your, the market value the products actually have.
Mm-hmm. Kashief, this is dope, man. Yeah, and this is what I'm thinking. Like, yo, I want to get a new house. And let's say you get $1 million house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your mortgage is $5,000 with another bill is like $8,000 a month or something like that. You just got to get X amount of machines, just
5,000, about 10 machines, get you 5. Then you got to account for the profit margin, get you about, where we at? I say about 15 machines. You should be
15
good.
machines. I could live in $1 million home.
15 machines. You should be good with that. Profit wise.
That's how I see it, bro. Like,
that's how I see it too. That's how I look at it. Even with
that pay for something.
Right. Even when I was working, I was like, when I told you I was making the 800, I'm looking like how much I'm making from the machine. And it shocked me at first because with the candy machines I was doing, I got a whole month. I got 50. It was like $50 a machine pretty much. And when I went to that vending machine and pulled out a couple $100 and it only been in there for like a week or two, I'm like, And then after like the first month, 2 months, I was making more than I was making at work from the machine. So I'm like, I got to figure this out. I need more of these machines.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it too. I feel like for my time spent, I was making much more off the machines than I was making at work. So I only had to manage these machines. It took me half an hour, fill a machine up. If you want to calculate the time it take me to go get the products, it's still way less than what I was spending going to work every day. And, so I felt like I got to lean more this way than lean on that. It made more sense.
This is lit, man. We getting machines, yo. You want to get a machine? Try to get it? Try to get in the game? Try to get in the game? Put them all through Cobb County, right? All right. All right. So, real quick, you have the course. Is there any way that we can get a discount for the viewers, like if they use the promo code Social Proof?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what the discount is. You can figure out what that is, but just add a promo code Social Proof so they can. I like to take care of my people, especially if they want to get in the game.
Let's do what you want. I'll let you name the percentage. What you want? What you want to give them off?
90% off, bro. Let's do it.
Shit.
All right. Social Proof, bro. Listen, don't ask me, okay? I'm taking care of my audience, all right? So we'll figure it out. I don't know. Maybe
I got
15, 20%, something like that.
Yeah, well, let's go 30. I'll give them 30% off Social
30%?
Proof. 30%. Social Proof, got it.
Say less. Listen, Social Proof, y'all get 30% off. So look, I got to do a quick commercial. We got to pay some bills, okay? And then I'm at you come back, kind of let everybody know how to find you. And you got to close this out real strong, man. Give the people something to think about, something deep.
Something deep to think about?
Yeah, I'm giving you mad pressure right there.
Oh,
well, listen, this episode is sponsored by the Podcaster's Blueprint, man. I have the blueprint on building a podcast. You want to do a podcast? You ever wanted to do a podcast?
I've dibbled and dabbled with podcasts a little bit. It's not too much of my thing.
You should do a podcast, bro.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
But if you do, go to podcastersblueprint.com.
I got you. I'm gonna look you up.
And it ain't 30%, it's 20%.
20%?
With social media. Yeah, for sure. But if you want to start a podcast, you want to grow a podcast, you want to monetize a podcast, go to podcastersblueprint.com, hosted by myself. Okay, I spent mad time trying to figure out what is it that would help you launch your podcast. Figured it out, put it out there, podcastersblueprint.com, okay? So, Kashief, man, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it because one, I have a space, bro, and there's no vending machine. What am I doing with myself?
Plenty of space.
I played myself.
Plenty of space.
This is crazy. I played myself. All right, so yeah, man, let everybody know how they can find you. Oh, one more question. I like to make predictions on the podcast. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Let's say 5 years, because I want to be able to watch this 5 years from today and say, yo, Kashief said he was going to be doing this. Look, he doing it. Is it 100 vending machines? Is it 100 doors real? Whatever. I don't know. 5 years. What do you see for yourself?
5 years. I have planted a lot of seeds right now that I'm growing. So I see within 5 years, actually less than 5, but it was definitely within 5 years, all of my business is flourishing. So I have I don't want to put it out there right now, but when I come back, I'm saying when I come, I'm not gonna say if. When I come back on the show, after I get them all rolling, we gonna talk about it. But I see those businesses flourishing, and then I feel like I'll be more in a position to just relax, because I'm always on go, man. I've been on go for a long time.
How old are you?
32.
32, gotcha.
Yeah. So I've been on go for, pretty much a long time. At least it feels like a long time to me. So it's rare that, even I think this is not just with me, it's just with a lot of entrepreneurs that we get a chance to just really fall back and put things on, autopilot, and then just be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor, because you don't want to get caught up too much and just always grind and always trying to build. You want to actually be able to stop and enjoy it, before we run out of time. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. I like that. I like that. So next 5 years, you are going to be retired doing absolutely nothing.
Pretty much. Close to it.
I love it. I love it. Well, look, man, again, thank you so much on behalf of the audience for coming out and just kind of sharing the game. Because it seems like and obviously no business is easy, but it seems pretty passive. It seems, like something that, anybody can get into.
Right.
You just got to find the place and then find a machine and pair the two. Find the right snacks and stuff. So, let everybody know how they can find you. I'm sure we'll have a link in the description, right?
Okay.
We'll have a link in the description to pick up the course. Use promo code Social Proof, 30%. Very generous. Okay. It's very generous. That's what's up. I appreciate that, fam.
No problem.
And so just let everybody know how they can find you, and close this out with a word of wisdom.
Word of wisdom. So you can find me on any social platform, _vending_biz. Word of wisdom, best word of wisdom I could give is, don't be scared to go for your dreams. I think a lot of people get caught up on thinking about how things can go wrong, too much, and to a point where it can actually freeze you up and stop you. One thing I've learned is you gotta go for it. Whatever gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Right.
You just gotta learn from it and just keep it going. As long as you don't stop, you don't quit, you'll get there eventually.
Yeah, those are the facts. Listen, you can't close it out no better than that, man. Do yourself a favor. Go follow Kashief right now. Grab his course. Let's get some vending machines together. Let's have like a little forum where we're talking about vending machines. I want to talk to y'all, and I want to see how your vending machine doing. You talk about how my vending machine doing. That's what I want to do. All right. So make sure you click the link in the description. Use promo code Social Proof, and do yourself a favor. Do us a favor. Do the community a favor. Go get you some social proof, okay? Meaning go build something. But after you go build it, I want you to take that information back to your community and teach them how you did it, okay? It's the only way our community grows, all right? We are out of here. Peace. What if I told you for $1, I will introduce you to hundreds of entrepreneurs every single morning this week? From all across the country, you'll be able to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I'll coach you. I'll coach you for $1 this whole week. And I'll introduce you to some of my successful friends for $1 this week. Would you take part in that? Well, go to themorningmeetup.com, because that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? The only organization that gathers entrepreneurs every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurship, okay? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we gather, we're growing, we're learning. We got a book club. Have you ever seen hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the same book every single chapter, every single day? We're growing together, okay? You need the environment to grow in. Themorningmeetup.com, $1. I'm gonna give you all of this for $1. If you wanna stay, great. It's $79 a month after that. If not, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want. All right? themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning.